Hello and welcome to Whiskey and Sports. Greg and Aaron here to talk to you all about gambling. We're going to do a gambling mini pod, and hopefully this is the first one of many. We'll hopefully do this weekly. Give everybody kind of a chance to see what's going on in the heads of these two genius sports gamblers, and share some of our knowledge. Tell you what to bet on. If we're using DraftKings, we're not sponsored by anybody. I'm not going to tell you who to use or anything like that, but we're using DraftKings, so all the lines that we're going to be talking about are going to be coming off of that. Aaron, scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you to talk about sports gambling?
I am off the charts excited. I almost want to call into work so I can watch the game. That's how much how excited I am to watch football.
Do you have bets on the game tonight?
I do.
What do you got?
So I have Kansas City in a parlay, and then I have the free bet from DraftKings that if they don't win or don't lose by 102,
yep,
then you win your bet back. So I should win that, and then I also did make a bet on the Texans. So
okay,
not very big, but.
Sorry, I have a bet on Kansas City as well on the same bet as you, the minus 101 bet. Then I also have, DraftKings gave a bonus for Clyde, not for anybody, to see who was going to score the first touchdown. So they gave 10 on everybody. So since Clyde Edwards-Helaire was the top betting odds on that at 5-1, plus 500, I put my bet on Clyde Edwards-Helaire. But I also feel like Travis Kelce has a chance, so I put some money on Kelce as well at 5.5-1. So
I forgot about that one. I actually have Kelce as well.
Okay, so I think if either Edwards-Helaire or Kelce score for the first touchdown, then I'm in the money on that. But let's get to some other gambling picks. Let's start with NFL. Just for this week, do you have a 3-team parlay?
I actually have 2.
Okay, me too.
I picked out 2. I know. We're going deep here. So I went a little chalk on my first one. I got Kansas City and Baltimore. So right there, I mean, you have 2 high probability wins, and then I matched them with a high-end dog in Washington. So
interesting.
So right there, with that three teams, I ended up with a plus 376. And I put a half unit on that.
So I don't know what a half unit is. Tell me what that is.
So you kind of spread out your bankroll into units. And so a unit is typically between 5 and 7% of your bankroll.
Okay.
So
the Chiefs are sitting at minus 435. The Ravens are at minus 375 over the Browns, and then the Washington football team at plus 205 versus the Eagles.
Yep.
So my 3-team parlay, or the first one that I'm looking at here is when I'm looking at who I want to bet in the first week of the NFL, I'm looking at betting against the teams that I know are going to be terrible. It's always hard to tell who's going to be really good at the beginning of the season, but it's a lot easier to tell who's going to suck. So I'm betting against those teams. So I have Bills minus 286. That's against the Jets. I have Colts minus 400. That's against the Jaguars. And then I have Chargers minus 165. That's against, the Bengals.
Okay.
Those 3 teams put together gives me a plus 172 on the parlay. That I feel pretty good about. I feel like that's a pretty good set of 3 teams. If I wanted to be a little bit riskier, I'd get rid of the Colts minus 400 since the odds are so heavy on that.
Yep.
I'd take Lions minus 155 over the Bears and get a plus 259 parlay on that. So that's where I'm sitting at. I actually have a 5-team parlay put in on my bet, but I don't want to force people to be betting stuff that I'm taking a little bit risks on. So,
five teams gets a little dicey because you're weighing a lot of games going in. Especially first week, you're not really certain what is going to come out and who's going to play well and how they're actually going to run the system because we didn't see any preseason games, so we don't have any indication of what's going on.
Right. We don't know who's hurt. We don't know who's healthy.
Yep.
Don't know who might be scratched by Sunday or cut or signed or whatever. So
Who knows?
we don't know
So
how.
my second one, though, my
Go ahead.
second parlay is Atlanta and Carolina. Both are dogs. And then I matched them up with Pittsburgh.
Okay.
And I end up with a plus 617.
Atlanta playing the Seahawks.
Yeah.
And Pittsburgh playing the Giants as favorites. Pittsburgh are minus 240.
Carolina's playing Las Vegas. So the reason I picked Atlanta and Carolina is it's West Coast teams headed east. They've gotten better in recent years as far as how the outcomes for how those broke down. But with all the COVID things and all the protocols, I imagine teams are going to have to get to the field a lot earlier. So it's going to throw off their schedules more. And then again, it's the first game. So they're already coming out a little rusty. So I'm going with the home teams here. And then Pittsburgh, I really like Pittsburgh this year. So I think they could make some noise. So.
Yeah, and it's interesting that you bring up the Seahawks. When I'm looking at my bets, I'm thinking, man, I don't know that there's very much home field advantage for anybody because there's no crowds involved. Maybe outside of Denver where we're at altitude, or if they were playing in San Francisco where the sky is orange. So yeah. So I'm going with teams that are just coached better, the better coached teams. So
okay.
We're going to do a little segment here of locks and upsets. So my week one lock actually is Seahawks -2 on the spread there. I don't think that the Seahawks are in danger of losing that game. But I think they're going to win by more than 2 points. It'll be more than a field goal spread on that.
I think it kind of depends on.
I see that one differently than Vegas, but
I think it kind of depends if they let Russ cook or not. I mean, who knows? If they're going to try and run the ball, there's no way they're going to keep up with Atlanta's real fast-paced offense that's going to spread the ball around and push it deep.
If I have to bet on which coach is going to have his team more prepared after a weird offseason full of Zoom, I'm betting on Pete Carroll over Dan Quinn on that.
That's fair. That's fair.
One of my upsets I have is Carolina over Las Vegas over the Raiders. I think the Raiders are getting way too much play here. Carolina at plus 150 is a solid upset. Even with a new head coach, I think Carolina's got a lot of talent on the offensive side, maybe not the defensive side, but they could really shock Las Vegas if Carolina gets out to a big lead or something early. I'm not sure that Derek Carr is the right kind of guy to lead a big comeback or anything like that. I'm also looking at possibly the Dolphins over New England at plus 230. I like the odds on that.
All those are good choices. My lock is the Colts at -400. I mean, that is a virtual easy game. So, I mean, you're getting terrible odds to get it, but they are definitely going to win. And then as far as underdogs, I really like Washington because of all the Eagles' injuries. So they're almost all their receivers are hurt. Miles Sanders is injured. I don't know who's catching passes or who's running the ball right now. And it's pretty much going to be Carson Wentz and a bunch of practice squad guys. So
fair.
So
Eagles fans will be familiar with all of their receivers being injured. Moving on from NFL, do you have any other bets that you want to put out for any other sports?
I have the entire line of baseball tomorrow. So this is for Friday, and I have the whole slate of games tomorrow. So the way I bet them is that if they are a favorite and they have to be less than 150 to be the favorite, and then also if they're higher than that, then sometimes I'll parlay them together. It just kind of depends. But so most of these I have are the favorites. So like I said, if you're finding better odds on DraftKings, FanDuel, MGM Sports, wherever, take that bet. But the only dog I have tomorrow is Minnesota. But as far as right now, the teams I would take, I haven't checked all the odds because baseball doesn't do it the day in advance. But I will take Philly, Atlanta, the Mets, Tampa Bay, the Yankees, Oakland, Chicago, Philly again because they're playing a doubleheader. Milwaukee, like I said, Minnesota, they're the only dog on my slate. St. Louis, Colorado is close because they're playing the Angels. So if you get real good odds on the Angels, maybe take the Angels. And then San Diego, Arizona.
San Diego, Arizona. All right. I have some English Premier League bets. League starting up this week.
Nice.
So I've got a parlay here, 3-team parlay for Arsenal minus 186 over Fulham, Leicester City minus 105 over West Brom, and then Liverpool minus 385 over Leeds. Leeds is newly promoted to the Premier League. That one seems like a lock. So plus 280 on that 3-team parlay right there. Not too bad. All three of those teams should be able to take care of business on the opening day of Premier League soccer.
I hope you're excited to lose that bet because I'm going to ride your coattails on it. So every time I've bet with Greg, we have lost. So
Fact.
yeah, literally every time. I don't think we've won the same bet yet.
Aaron, try and keep track of your bets here that we've made on the podcast, and we'll keep track of our scores and see how we do over the course of the season. Hopefully we can win some people some money.
Yeah, I think we should start posting those to Twitter just so we have a running tally of who's betting what and how much we're up or down.
Word.
All right, cool.
Sounds good. We're going to leave everybody with that. I hope you all have a great betting weekend and enjoy your NFL and EPL and baseball and all that stuff.
Yeah. See y'all.
Deuces.